out again. This man been putting on a show all camp long and every preseason game. And I believe he has led the team in all-purpose yards. I want to say all 3 games, but I definitely believe the last 2. He led them in all-purpose yards. Chris, what's happening? Hey, man, hey, I had to get it in, man. I get it in. Y'all, he's been doing everything you would need him to do to make these rosters, right? But the NFL is a tricky, tricky business. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Last year, now I ain't talking about, I know 2 guys named Xavier, right? That's in the NFL right now. Xavier Smith for the Los Angeles Rams. He came out of fam. Last year was his first year in the NFL. He was doing them boys in camp. Now, I can't remember how he did during the preseason games, but in camp, he was doing them. We know Xavier Smith was that boy. We knew he was that boy at FAMU. We knew he was that boy in Polk County because he right here from Haines City, right? So I'm gonna give you this story so you could understand how this thing can go. This just the NFL. They do whatever they want to do. All right. Xavier Smith, we knew he was a baller in Polk County in high school. Went to FAMU. Eventually got out there and balled, dominated, did his thing. Should have been a draft pick. Ran a 4.3, could jump out the gym, run routes like a champion. We know he should have been drafted. Just like Xavier Weaver, but he wasn't. So all last year, the Los Angeles Rams knew they had a star in Xavier Smith. They let that man be on the practice squad the whole year. The whole year. Going into this year, they said, man, listen, Xavier Smith balled out so hard for the Los Angeles Rams that he was their scout team. Whoever the superstar wide receiver was, he was that person for them. That's how good he was. So this season, the LA Rams said, okay, hey, we gotta get him in the plan. So Xavier Smith, because I'm just giving you this story before I get back to Xavier Weaver, so you can see how the NFL does. I don't get it. This is just what they do. So Xavier Smith was with the LA Rams this coming year. So this year they said, hey, let's put him out there and get the ball to him because he done his thing all year long last year on the practice squad. Now, how you do your thing all year long on the practice squad and you don't bring me up? But it's the NFL. They run it how they run it. So, bam. They put Xavier Smith out there for the LA Rams this year from FAMU, from Polk County, Florida. And Xavier Smith was a shining that punt return, shining that kick return, shining that wide receiver for the Rams. The Rams say this year they're going to make it their business to... So he going to make the roster this year. Xavier Smith should make the roster. I'm probably do a video on it, but he should make the roster. And they should work him in to getting the ball in his hands at wide receiver as well as on special teams, kick returner, and punt returner. He should start at him, but you just never know. But they this year they're going to put him on the roster. All right, now I said all that to bring you to this point for Xavier Weaver. I went and looked up everything I could find out on Xavier Weaver. We know he should have been drafted. We know he is a baller. Again, I just gave you the scenario with Xavier Smith to prep you for Xavier Weaver. Now, Xavier Weaver, he is 4th string on the depth chart. I'm going to say it again. Xavier Weaver, right now for the Arizona Cardinals, is 4th string at wide receiver. Now, the thing that's in his favor, I went and looked it up. The wide receivers in front of him. One of them, well, let's just start at wide receiver on his spot. Because you know how they give you a role like, okay, you with these wide receivers, the other wide receivers on that side, other wide receivers on this side. That's just how the NFL wrote it out. So I looked at it. They got Greg. He's the starting wide receiver. Greg Dortchy, if I'm saying his name right, Greg Dortchy. Then Zay Jones. Zay Jones is the wide receiver that just got suspended a couple days ago. He out for 5 or 6 games. So that, because we know Xavier Weaver good, but Xavier Weaver going against a lot of players. It ain't a lot of wideouts that's trying to feed their family. And they don't care about Xavier. They trying to make that squad that's here. Bro, you got to go home. That's everybody trying to stay on the roster. So is Zay Jones is the second string wide receiver at their position. Now they got like 3 wide receiver slots, and all of them had names. But I'm just looking at the one that Zay was on. Then they had another wide receiver in front of Xavier, and his name was Andre Basilina, if I'm saying his name right. But I didn't know his first name, Andre. And then Xavier Weaver was 4th string. All right, I went down to kick returner and punt returner to see if they had him on there on the return thing. Now, initially, when I clicked it, he was 2nd string returner. And what that means is Greg Dorchy and DJ Dallas are the main 2 kick returners. Then they had on the punt return Greg first, then DJ. And then Xavier was on both of them. But when I came back, Xavier just was on one of them. So, at this moment, all the writers that's with Arizona, they writing it out. They putting all their write-ups together. They said what we all seen. Xavier Weaver had an impressive spring training camp, and he done well in the games. And to make it even better today, he averaged about 27.5 yards a kick return, averaged about 8 yards on the punt returns, led the receivers in receiving yards. He led the team in all-purpose yards, and he had that big boy 43-yard catch, followed that up a couple catches later, had a 13-yard catch. So Xavier Weaver been shining, right? So they say his competition to make the roster is between, now they took the wide receivers from all positions on this. They had Dan Crisina, Tahaje Palmer, Chris Moore, and then Xavier. So those 4 wide receivers trying to see who gonna make the roster. Now again, I told y'all how they did with Xavier Smith with the Los Angeles Rams. He was an undrafted free agent last year. They saw him ball, and now they finally giving the man a chance. So you got to have the right mindset. And they interviewed Zay. They say, Zay, what's up? Zay say, man, I'm new to this. I'm just staying prepared. We know he should make the roster. But have I looked at Chris Moore to know how big time Chris Moore is to them? No, I haven't. Because I've been focusing on Xavier. Tahaje Palmer, I've been focused on Xavier. Dan Crisina, I've been focusing on Xavier. But the fact that Xavier Weaver been putting up every time he goes out there, that blessed his situation. Zay Jones, with him being suspended, that opens up the door to make the roster. So, y'all, I don't know how this thing gonna turn out. Let's say Xavier Weaver does make the team. I thought he would start. I believe he would make the team and start at kick returner or punt returner. But I don't know based on how the NFL operate. I really can't call it, y'all. Because they said going into the week, the people who write about Arizona Cardinals, they say going into the week, he was on the bubble to make the 53-man roster, which is good because you in there or you outside. But y'all know that you could also make the practice squad. And he could shine during the practice squad, and they could bring him up. Or he could just make the 53-man roster. Either way, he has put his name been out there. So Arizona knows about him, and the rest of the country know about him. Well, the other 31 teams. So 32 teams knows about Xavier Weaver. He produced. He gave you kick returns. He gave you punt returns. He ran the ball one time. He got a run in, and you know he can do his thing at wide receiver. So he has put a good resume out there. If you type in Xavier Weaver, you gonna see everything they say about him. So all the teams getting to see him. Everybody getting to see him. So y'all, giving you the example how they did it, Xavier Smith with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm telling you, I don't know how this gonna go, y'all. But a thing that really blessed him again is he shined all the way through. He ain't had no like, he dropped the ball. Nah, he was out there doing his thing. Cause on the drive that he caught that big boy catch this game, they was like, hey, the offense was stagnant. And when he made that big boy 43-yard catch, and then a 13-yard catch after that, they scored on that drive. So that made him look good. And then his kick return skills, that made him look good. So that's what it is, y'all. I don't know if they're going to give him the kick return spot. If they do, he's making the roster. But they got Greg and DJ on there for the starting job, and they got him at second string. At wide receiver, they got him at fourth. Now, that don't mean they ain't going to tweak it, because they got to cut the roster down. But it's going to come out of Dan, Tahaje, and Chris, and Xavier. It's going to come down to that. I don't know if they produce, because I didn't focus on them. My focus was on Xavier. So, we going to see how it goes. At 1 p.m. on Tuesday, which is my sister's birthday, August the 27th, at 1 p.m., Mountain West time, because you know they in Mountain West, and that's 2 o'clock, no, that's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we going to find out who on that 53-man roster. But with Zay Jones being suspended and the way Xavier has produced, I believe that make the case for him. Because them other guys don't play return man. He's a returner. He give you more value. You get more value in Xavier Weaver. So, Lord's willing, man, he make the squad. I just know you got to go at it. You got to go get it. Whoo, you got to go get it. Because the NFL a different business, y'all. Let's see what y'all saying. JB, what's good? JB, you said so proud of Zay. They better do him right. I wanted to. I want him to be on the squad. But the great thing about it is, we know he a baller, and they do too. Because everybody talking about it. They know he a baller. They know he has produced. They know if they let him go, somebody gonna pick him up. And I think they'll put him on the 53-man roster. So that's your thing. Did you value Xavier Weaver enough to put him out, to make him on your roster? Because with Xavier Smith at the Los Angeles Rams, nobody didn't get to really see him. To my knowledge, I don't think he was doing how Zay did this past preseason games. But in practice, Xavier Smith was dogging him. He was their #1 wide receiver. So whoever they went against, he was their wide receiver. So if Xavier Weaver has to go to the practice squad, he want to ball out so hard that they make him the #1 wide receiver for each team if he make the practice squad. But if he makes the roster, he got a lot of wide receivers ahead of him. He got to do it probably on special teams. But, y'all, the NFL is tricky. I think he should make the squad. The writers feel he going to make the squad. That's watching him. I told you who he against. D-Rich, what's good? Kenneth, what's good? Crystal, what's happening? Simply Nicole. The Goddess. Hey, yeah, I got to get one in. Simply Nicole, you say they didn't win, but it was good to see Xavier Weaver. Yes, it was. It was. Shanika, the realtor. Andrea, what's good? Miss Pleasant Plump. Double M. You said the San Francisco 49ers are a Super Bowl favorite. You correct. I'm down with that. I am definitely down with that. Double M, you said San Francisco against the Philadelphia Eagles for the. I could take that too. I know they're gonna shine. Regina E. Regina, you say I'm pulling for our forever buff Zay. Me too. Edwin Smith, aloha, bro. Chris, you said nephew will make the team. He has the internet aunties and uncles ride for him. Hey, you know we rolling with him. Just the NFL a tricky business, y'all. You can't call it. Like I gave you the example of how they roll. They just now putting Xavier Smith for the Rams, number 19, giving him love. That man been like that. So, We got to see. Don Juan, you said they gave Zay the player of the game for the call. Ooh. See, that's more so you believe he going to make the roster. But this what I want for him. Let's say he make the roster. I don't know how much wide receiver they going to give him. But at kick return or punt return, if they let him start, I need him to crib something. Where you stay out there like, hey, he him. That's what I need him to do. K-Ron, you say, I'm going to be real. Love Xavier, but he really not a natural returner. He don't got that top-end breakaway speed that for that difference. But love him as a wide receiver. He get it done, though. I get what you saying. Like, he ain't no Devin Hester out there or a Deion Sanders out there, but he when he gets the ball, he get good yardage on it. He averaging probably almost, or if not, close to around 27 to 30-some yards a carry on kick returns. And on punt returns, he'll give you a little something on that. So he adds value to them. And then, like you said, that wide receiver, you know he add that value. So I think with all those, I didn't see Chris Moore getting returns. I didn't see Tajay Palmer getting returns. I think Dan got hurt last week. And I seen DJ Dallas. I seen him getting returns and punt returns. I seen him get them. Greg, I didn't see him get any. I don't even think Greg played during the preseason, I don't think. D. Goddess, you said, thank you, Colin, for explaining this to us. Yeah, I had to, because we all feel he's going to make the team. But he at fourth string right now, y'all. And second string at the return man. That don't mean after tonight they won't change it, but that's what he's up against. But Zay Jones being suspended really opened that door again. Like say if it was open for a crack, it's a little bit better. So I think he has an opportunity to really make it. But if he does get on, he got to get out there and produce, because Zay Jones coming back. And then the other wide receivers, they going to do their thing too. So you got to get out there and produce. You got to get out there and produce, which he has been. But again, the NFL, they could do it however they feel. Because they know they're in demand. They know you can pick anybody and you going to be good. Like, you got enough guys coming. They only fight for 53 man on the roster. And what you going to carry, maybe 6 to maybe 8 wide receivers, something like that. So, Coach Dre, you said good evening, family. Thanks to everyone that came to watch. Hey, yeah, that was a good show tonight, bro. Hey, it was good being on with you. JB, you said if they do release him, what other teams you think could beat us? I mean, could use him on the roster? I think the fact that he showed that Arizona showed that he came to play at camp, like practicing, he came to play. Y'all know when they do them joint team things? So every team, they did a joint team thing. So he had 3 games, preseason games, right? But he had joint team games. So that's 3 teams that saw him. 3 teams that say, oh, that boy Xavier Smith good. Then at the same time, you got to think, also, them folks know Deion Sanders. So, you know, they probably say, hey, coach, man, what he really like? Bam. So now that's extra love. Plus, they seeing him. He did well in every game and was Mr. All-Purpose. So, I think either Arizona going to put him on the roster, or I think they'll make him on the practice squad. So, I think either way, Arizona not giving him up. But the thing is, if you put him on the practice squad, somebody could scoop him up and say, hey, Zay, you want that money over here, big dog? Because Arizona playing with you. We saw you. We know you like that. So that's the other thing about it. What's going to happen? So Arizona got a real decision to make. Everybody wrote about that man that he was balling. Everybody wrote about him that he was balling. It's just Do they like Dan or Tahaje or Chris Moore? Do they like them better? But again, I didn't focus on one, two, three, them three wide receivers. I just focus on Zay. But at the moment, he's fourth string at wide receiver, second string at return man. But that's good because he on two different things. Only other wide receivers that's on punt return and kick return and wide receiver is Greg and DJ. They're the only two. So it's Xavier Weaver. So think about this, y'all. Think about this. Now, you could put anybody back there to return it, but, well, not punt returner, but kick return. All right, think about this. If Greg or DJ goes down, well, Lord's willing they don't. I didn't mean to say that, but I want to just give you an example. Zay would be the next man up. So you just don't know, y'all. The real Mo, you say he's going to make somebody team. Now, that's how I feel. I feel he put out enough. I feel Arizona should keep him. They could put him on the roster, and they could really let him start at kick returner or punt returner. I feel they could. I feel they should keep him. Like the LA Rams did Xavier Smith. Keep him. Now, this year, Xavier Smith will make a name for himself because this preseason, he was out there balling. So they couldn't deny him. They let him go if they want to. Somebody else going to get him. That's the same thing with Xavier. I think he put out enough film. He went against three teams that saw him. So them three know firsthand what he buy. Hey, that boy number 30 was doing his thing. Then the rest of the squad saw him. So basically everybody got their eyes on him. TMFB, you say Zay gonna be on either way. Correct. Rod the Man Media. Hey, man, appreciate y'all want me on. Appreciate that. Sam, you said David Williams should play and make the team. You mean Xavier? Yeah. Sway C, what's happening? Shina King, you say shout out to my boy Cole and Xavier Weaver gonna make the team for sure. I feel like he is. But the NFL is tricky, y'all. So it's going to be whatever they get in them rooms and talk about. But I do know Xavier Weaver giving them something to think about. And that Zay Jones really opened up the door. Like, because now, instead of they was trying to pick out of them four wide receivers who going to make it and who go to practice squad, now you got Zay Jones suspended for 5 games. Now that means 2 of them might make the roster instead of just one of them. And the other one's going to practice squad. So I see, you say I was at the game supporting my boy. Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Shina King, hey, appreciate it. Hey, you know how I do. J27, you say Zay not playing in the second half was definitely a good sign. Yeah. He shined, too. He shined. Listen, that 43-yard catch, well, matter of fact, open up with a kick return. And then the 43-yard catch. And then the social media love him. They know what they be doing. Y'all seen it? They said, hey, they first put Xavier account name on there. Then they came back. They was like, hey, this Colorado Buffalo player balling. So they know it's Xavier Weaver him. Like they call him big player or something like that, they was saying. Sway C, you say he got banged up on his last kick return, but he was good and was running routes on the sideline. Okay. Salty, you say they shut down Zay after the first half. Man, I wanted to make it, man. You say Sway C, he ain't playing the second half. Yeah. Chloe, what's good? Next news, what's happening? D. Alexander. Yeah, y'all. Hey, on the 27th, y'all, just think when some of these players get cut or put on the practice squad, know that for some of these squads, well, not all the players, but some of the players probably balled out in preseason. And it's just the way the NFL do. I don't know why they do it this way, but this is. Yeah, hey, next news. They did. Xavier Weaver did ball out, and they said it. They was like, hey, the man making a case for himself. He making a real good case to make the roster. It's just, I don't know, man. These guys, you say you don't like how they use the undrafted guys as crash dummies the whole time they be knowing. Correct. They got a clue. But see, the good thing about it is they can use you as that, but you can get out there and shine, and then now that turn into a different situation. So Zay put on the show the whole time. Salty, you say this was an addition for every NFL team. Zay stock on his stock on the rise. When he got out there and shine like that, everybody got to see it. The three teams that went against him, and then the rest of the country. They watching because everybody trying to find that winning edge. And the fact that it's only 3 wide receivers. Well, it was another guy, but I don't remember where he played. I think his name Amari. But from what I seen, Greg, DJ, and Xavier Weaver, the only wide receivers. And I don't know what Amari played. I got to go look at it, Amari. But Greg and DJ and Xavier Weaver, them the only ones that was at wide receiver and special teams as the returners. So that's in his favor. Jay Will, Penny, what's good? Monet, what's happening? When do they have to decide? At 1 p.m. Tuesday, Mountain West time, everybody gonna know. But they have been releasing guys already. A lot of teams been releasing guys already. Like, basically, they could really start releasing them tonight. They could really give people their bags tonight. Like, hey, bro, you hot. You hot. You gone. Not him, but, any other players. Rodder Man, me, you say, I got to show my brother. Hey, always, man, I appreciate that. Next news, you say Bucks going 11-1, natty bound. I take that all day. Jared, you say Brains Zay to New Orleans. Jay Will, you say Zay gonna make the roster. I wanted to shine, like get out there and ball, not just be on the squad. Get out there and shine like you've been doing preseason. Overall, you say if Arizona doesn't sign him, one of these teams will. These were the teams at the pro day: the Broncos, Eagles, Cardinals, Giants, Packers, Lions, Saints, Raiders, Browns, Chiefs, Jaguars. So they nobody. And then not everybody nobody, because if you type in his name, you get to see what he did. And he made plays every game. So that was a good thing. Mike, what's happening? Sam, you say I won't be surprised if they cut Zay Jones. I don't know. They act like they like him. So I don't know if they're going to cut Zay Jones. Hey, Coach Dre, appreciate it. Wallow, what's happening? So you say I was sitting next to the Cardinals fan who knew Zay was from CU. Yeah, they know. Ben, you say you coming to Colorado game next week. Man, I don't know, man. I might surprise myself and slide up there. Hey, D guys, appreciate it. Salty, you said not yet. D-Mac had 3 Tigers in 1 sack. Okay. The real Mo, you said everything that touches his hands, he caught. Correct. Because he would get, like that quarterback, Toon liked him. Toon liked throwing to Xavier. Like you seen Toon run out. Toon could have hit somebody for a shorter route, but Toon say, nah, I want Zay. Bam. So I believe the connection that Toon and Xavier Weaver had made Xavier Weaver chances of making that roster even better. But y'all, it's going to come down to Zay Jones is out for 5 or 6 games. That blessed Xavier Weaver's opportunity. Dan just got hurt last week, so I don't even know how good Dan going to be going into the season. So they might put him on reserve for a little bit. But to Hajay and Chris and Xavier, my thing is if they let Xavier, well, not let, because he performed well enough to make the roster. So he did perform enough to make the roster. Okay, make the roster, but get in. Like either at the wide receiver spot and make catches, or get in on kick return and score, or punt return and score. That's what that's going to come down to. But, y'all, I just want to holler at y'all about that, man. I had to give y'all the example of Xavier Smith, which is at the L.A. Rams, because he was an undrafted free agent last year, and now they're giving him the roster spot. Not giving him because he earned it. He's going to earn the roster spot with the Rams, and he came from FAMU. Now, will Arizona pull a Xavier Smith on him and make him practice squad, shine throughout the year, then bring him on? Or did they see enough and is Zay Jones on 5 games out, do that bless his opportunity more. So we about to see. Either tomorrow we'll know something, because they letting players go like that. So tomorrow or by Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My time. That's what I'll be looking for. Hollywood, you say happy to see Georgia Tech get on Florida State. Colorado got the best chance to win it all of any teams in the seat. It's wide open. They do got a great chance to win it. El Kill, what's good? Hey, Xavier Weaver Ball. Yeah, he a dog. He a dog. Hey, blessings to y'all. Yo, I'm going to come back on, and we're going to talk about Colorado football, because Coach Prime finna go into this first game in like a couple of days his own. So we about to do what we do. Hey, blessings to y'all. Hey, I'm finna drop the link and come right back on. Y'all ride out with me. Holla at y'all.